What is up, my people? It is your homeboy Araf here. So today I'm going to be reacting to Linkaras' History of Power Rangers Wild Force video. So let's do this.
You didn't fall asleep, did you?
Me? I heard every word of it. It's a beautiful story. About a creature, a magic one who lives in the lake. And it grants you wishes. If you write it on a piece of paper, put it in a bottle and throw it in the turtle lake.
Actually, it sounded like it was about a kissing booth run by witches that pray to their god Danny, the townspeople forced to write up their wills and drink themselves to sleep in fear. But hey, props to Max for understanding any of that. Welcome, dear viewers, to Power Rangers Wild Force. So yeah, it's been a while since the last History of Power Rangers. As such, I need to address a couple of things that have cropped up. Yes, I'm aware of the David Yost interview. Yes, I'm aware Power Rangers Samurai is coming to Nickelodeon in 2011. Yes, I will continue to do History of Power Rangers through that series once it concludes. Now, many of you have been very patient and waiting for these videos, and for that, I'm very grateful. Others of you have not been so patient to the point where I'm actually taking time out of this review to talk about it. Let me say this once again, since apparently it was not made clear when this video series began. History of Power Rangers has no set schedule. The videos are done when they're done and will be released when they're done. In case you haven't noticed, I've been more than a little busy the last few months. If you haven't noticed, wake up already! I attended Power Morphicon, FallCon, did a very complicated ending to an episode of Atop the Fourth Wall, released additional videos in October beyond my regular workload, did my regular workload, which consists of an episode of Atop the Fourth Wall every week despite conventions and other difficulties, one of those difficulties being moving into an apartment. In addition to that, people don't seem to realize how much work actually goes into these videos. Here's the process. I watched the entire series, which, for those of you at home, is around 40 episodes at 20 minutes each. That's roughly 13 hours straight if I was watching them all in one day, which I'm not. Oh, but it gets better, because I also am writing up a synopsis of the important plot points of the season, as well as writing down character notes, themes, etc., which means I'm pausing the episodes so I can write. Once the season is completed, I have to finish my notes and analysis, and then I watch the next season and repeat the process. Yes, I had to finish watching Ninja Storm before I recorded the Wild Force review. Why? So I don't let my immediate feelings about it be the ones that I write. I give it time to settle and see how much of it is memorable. It helps the analysis and judgment of the series. And on top of all of that, I then have to record it and edit it all down to a few videos for your consumption. And oh yes, I need to also have my own life outside of it. So when will the next History of Power Rangers be out? when it's done. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as ungrateful or needlessly angry, since I'm not. I love that you all care about this series, and I'm doing everything in my power to get it done. But it's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. Asking me when the next one is going to come is not making it get done any faster. I have warned you all before that I'm in unfamiliar territory now, and it's harder for me to skip through stuff that I've never seen before. And I appreciate offers of people to point out what's filler and what isn't, but I have to make that evaluation for myself. And please, please, please avoid spoilers or telling me, skip this season, it sucks. It's History of Power Rangers, not History of Power Rangers, except for this season or this season. Every season will be watched, everything evaluated, everything will be given a fair chance to impress or disappoint. Like I said, I haven't watched these seasons before, and I want the chance to be surprised by things that happen. Stop telling me what's going to happen. You're only going to piss me off. The thing is, I want to have fun while I'm doing this. Constantly badgering me for the next videos does not equal fun. It makes it a chore for me, and if it becomes a chore for me, I will be disinclined to work on it. And with all of that said, let's get to Wild Force already. I'll get into this more next season, but there's a bit of behind-the-scenes cleanup to deal with for this one. A common question about this season is whether it counts as a Saban-era Power Ranger series or a Disney-era one. For the purposes of this video, I do not care in the slightest. While it's true that the production team for Power Rangers stayed pretty consistent from Turbo through Time Force, there are a number of factors that go into the making of a television series, from writers to directors to producers to composers to actors and etc., etc. The point is, I refuse to get into a pissing match about who was better or worse, Saban or Disney. If I find a series to be lacking, there have to be numerous contributing factors to that. Is Wild Force a Disney or Saban product? It doesn't really matter. But if I really have to choose, from a technical standpoint, yes, Disney did about 99% of everything on this one since it had purchased it while Saban had only done preliminary production work. But spiritually, it's still a Saban season to me. This is the last season before the production moved to New Zealand, which ironically bans the airing of Power Rangers, and it has several connections to previous seasons, both in its annual team-up as well as the 10th anniversary episode. But frankly, it doesn't matter. This is Power Rangers Wild Force, and that is all that is important about that subject. The season begins with Lionheart, and the show's format has stopped using a teaser, something they had been using since Turbo. This season is the first season where the Zords are mostly CG, for better or worse, and the first season without a Pink Ranger, swapping out with White. It should be noted that about 90% of the CGI was from the original Sentai, Gal Ranger, so it's not like Wild Force is to blame for the CG Zords. Also, let me say right off the bat, I love the Wild Force theme song. While the theme songs have had to grow on me in the last few seasons, Wild Force I loved from the first time I heard it. It isn't a Ron Wass.
Yeah, I love the Wild Force theme song too. It is so awesome.
If I find a series to be lacking, there have to be numerous contributing factors to that. Is Wild Force a Disney or Saban product? It doesn't really matter. But if I really have to choose, from a technical standpoint, yes, Disney did about 99%. And the first season without a Pink Ranger, swapping out with White. It should be noted that about 90% of the CGI was from the original Sentai, Gal Ranger, so it's not like Wild Force is to blame for the CG Zords. Also, let me say right off the bat, I love the Wild Force theme song. While the theme songs have had to grow on me in the last few seasons, Wild Force I loved from the first time I heard it. It isn't a Ron Wasserman creation, but I thought it might have been at first. It's very energetic, catchy, and it easily got me excited for the show. Power Rangers flying higher, go! Wild Force running faster, Wild Force, Power Rangers stick together,
Go! Power Rangers, let's protect this world together.
jungle where we see our Red Ranger, Cole Evans. Yes, I'm serious. This is the new Red Ranger. And he's talking to a monkey. He's brought to a ceremony by the other tribespeople of the jungle, which is inducted by James Earl Jones.
Cole, here you have lived since before you could walk, and we have always treated you as one of our own. The time has come for you to follow your own life path.
And by the way, this is CNN. The guy gives him a photograph and a red sphere that they found along with him when he was a baby and say it's time to send him off into the outside world for some reason. We cut to a city, Turtle Cove, where a monster fights off a group of rangers. The animal focus of this team gives them some new abilities, like the Blue Shark Ranger being able to fight underwater, and the Yellow Ranger, based on an eagle, being able to fly. The monster, aided by another, manages to get away and the Rangers demorph.
Man, those guys are strong. Danny, you okay?
It's just that we've never seen two orcs together. Something's changed.
Yeah, I can feel it. We need a fifth ranger.
Calm down, guys. I say we're doing just fine the way we are.
The Rangers refer to the monster.
Ninja, rap, ninja, ninja, rap, ninja, ninja.